wow. Let's talk about the Marvels. I don't even know where to start. I said I was going to give you guys a review, even though I did a poll here on YouTube asking if any of you guys were interested in watching the film, and 90% was like, no. 5% yes, 5% maybe. But anyways, let's talk about the Marvels. Well, I wouldn't say it's the worst movie I've ever seen. It's not. There's a couple of things I actually even laughed. Certain things I was just rolling my eyes. But I think the biggest issue with this film, to be quite honest, is that it didn't really know what it wanted to be. It felt like they wanted to be a little bit of Guardians of the Galaxy, a little bit of like Thor, Love and Thunder, you know, like the style of Taika Waititi. But there's a lot of stuff that was missing. For instance, the connection with the characters. And what do I mean by that is that with Guardians, for instance, we have a lot of humor and action and heartfelt moments, but they do pay off because you have a connection with those characters. We've been with them for a while. While here, these characters, I mean, they're brand new. Not everyone watched Mrs. Marvel. Not everyone watched WandaVision, where Monica Rambeau was introduced. And a lot of people didn't like Captain Marvel because they wrote her very unlikable, and that's totally their fault. So I thought this movie was a little bit messy because exactly like that, like it tried to do things but it didn't really accomplish. Like I didn't feel a connection with all of the I didn't feel a connection with the characters like they really actually wanted us to. But let's start off with Captain Marvel. Well, they did something here that I did not expect. They gave Captain Marvel flaws, and they made her a little bit more relatable, not so cocky and not so arrogant like we have seen her before. And I think they did that because they want people to connect with the character, since she was, you know, getting a lot of hate. But I think it is way too late. This should have been done in the Captain Marvel movie. Wasted opportunity. Now it's just like, I mean, good luck getting people go watch this movie. Now it's just way too late to try to get people to like her. But yes, she was not very unlikable in this movie. Miss Marvel was probably the best thing. She has a very genuine personality. She's very funny. She has a family that it's also in the movie for a little bit, and the family is a little bit funny as well at certain points. At other points, I was like, there was not even need for the family to be there. But this character, it's sort of like a fangirl of Captain Marvel and the Avengers, and she really reminded me of Peter Parker and the relationship he had with Iron Man. Because he loved Tony Stark, he looked up to him. It's the same thing here. So it's kind of like, it's nothing new, even though the character itself is sort of the heart of the movie. She's very genuine, like I said. I didn't dislike the character. To be quite honest, I'm trying to think what feelings I have about this movie, and that is the problem. I have none. You know, like I'm not gonna tell you I hate it, and I'm not gonna say I like it. I think at the end of the day, it's a very forgettable movie. Action-packed, a lot of CGI, a lot of things Marvel-like, but nothing really stood out. So yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's no longer rotten on Rotten Tomatoes, so the critics are actually giving it a better review, because when it first came out, it was already like rotten. Now I think it's going up. But to be quite honest, I definitely don't think this is a good movie. There's just a lot of problems. What else can I say? Well, there are parts of this movie that are just quirky and weird. And I don't want to get into spoilers here, but, well, maybe I'll just go ahead and say spoilers, because a lot of you guys said you're not going to watch it anyway. So spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the movie, I'll talk spoilers now. There is a part in this movie that it becomes sort of a musical, and it's just ridiculous. It didn't really fit with the whole movie. It was just really... It was goofy, but not in a good way. You know, like Guardians is goofy at times, but I think... the actors are, I don't know, you just, at Guardians you buy it, here you don't. That's all I can tell you. It's just really goofy. There's a part in which they go to a planet, and I kid you not, when they get to this planet, Captain Marvel tells the other Marvels that well, the language they speak here is called song. So everyone sings, and the movie becomes a musical. And I'm not joking. And Captain Marvel sings, and she's married to someone. And in this planet, she's a princess. I know, it's just, I don't know what they were trying to do here, but it's just, the whole thing just came off as really weird. I was like, that was my face. I was like, what is going on here? I was totally rolling my eyes. Like I said, I didn't know, and then there are certain points that he wanted to be just like this action-packed thing, and then he wanted to be like very funny, and then he wanted to be heartfelt. It just didn't mix well. It was very, very messy. I didn't really like it. Another thing was terrible in this movie, the villain. Oh my goodness, the villain was awful. There is nothing worse than seeing a villain that you are not scared by, you know, because the best movies are those in which the villains are threatening, not just because they're powerful, but because they're just scary, like Darth Vader, like Thanos, for instance. He has a threatening presence. This villain here was absolutely terrible. She was very powerful. She did a lot of damage, but even though the stakes seem to be high, I just didn't seem to care, and that's not a good thing. What else can I say about this movie? The villain was bad. Some moments were funny, and there is a cat moment. Oh my goodness, this moment was absolutely terrible. I honestly don't know what they were doing, but you know, you've seen the cat, right? I even forgot the name from the cat from the first movie, Captain Marvel. He has these tentacles. He's actually an alien. He can swallow people whole. And that's what they do here. Well, they need to transport people to another location, because that location is, everyone is in danger. And their brilliant ideas is just to get a bunch of these cats and swallow people and then carry the cats. I don't know. It seems like I'm joking, but I'm not. This is really in the movie. And I was like, what am I watching? This was just so. It was so weird, and it was bad weird, not good weird. I think the only good thing about this movie is that Samuel L. Jackson playing Nick Fury really felt more like Samuel L. Jackson. He seemed like he was having fun. There were a lot of jokes that he said that I laughed. Like I said, Miss Marvel was probably the best thing. I like her scenes. She came off as very genuine. I like her family. I like her interaction with Captain Marvel. She's really the fangirl, you know, working now with her hero. But even though Captain Marvel wasn't as annoying and as arrogant, like I said, what they tried to do here with her personality now is a little bit too late. This should have been done before, but that's what they did. As far as Captain Rumble, nothing extraordinary really happened for this character to stand out. I mean, at the very end, she was very powerful. She got powers from, their powers are intertwined. That's why they keep switching, and we see that in the trailer. I didn't care much about that, but I mean, it kind of made a different, funny dynamic when they were fighting, but that was about it. There were some funny scenes, for instance, in which Miss Marvel is, transported to space, and things like that. It wasn't haha moment, but there were some funny scenes here and there. But anyways, guys, definitely not a good movie. I don't think people are going to be loving. It's very forgettable. Like I said, maybe you have a different opinion, but I want to talk about the end credit scene because that's the only thing I actually quite enjoyed. Well, if you have seen online, there is an end credit scene in which we have X-Men. In fact, there are two, but one end credit scene is right after the very end, so it's connected, so it doesn't really feel like an end credit scene. And there is Kate Bishop and Ms. Marvel. Ms. Marvel is talking to Kate Bishop and pretty much saying, oh, we are creating another team. And in my mind, I was like, who cares? I mean, I'd rather see another Guardians of the Galaxy movie, you know? I care about that team up. I don't care about this team up here. Sorry, but that's just how I feel. But let's talk about the other end credit scene that actually really mattered, and that is the X-Men. Well, we see Beast. What happened at the very end is that Monica Rambeau is it's trying to close the hole that that terrible villain opened up, and the hole was actually a hole to a different universe, a universe in which we have the X-Men. So Monica Rambeau is trying to close this hole that was open, this stair that was open in the universe, but she gets stuck on the other side. So she's separated from Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel, and now she's on the other side with the X-Men. And then she wakes up and Beast is right there, and he's very comic accurate. I liked the way he looked. That was kind of exciting. That part was exciting. I really enjoyed the X-Men. And I mean, it really sets up for an X-Men movie. And to be quite honest, I'm so excited for an X-Men movie, but what I'm not excited is that Marvel is being declining right now. And if they start doing with the X-Men the same stuff that they have been doing with Marvel lately, I mean, that's just gonna suck. Especially when, you know, you have such amazing characters from the X-Men. But anyways, in that end credit scene, something very interesting happens, that Monica Rambeau's mom, right, the original Captain Rambeau, is there, but it's not Captain Rambeau, it's somebody else, which we don't know who it is yet. But then she, of course, thinks that it's her mom, so she's talking to her, and she's like, oh, I don't know who you are, and that's about it. And then we see Beast walking away a little bit before he actually walked away, and I was like, oh man, he looks so good. And he talks about Professor X, Charles Xavier, and that's about it. But like I said, there's so much weirdness in this movie. That musical part was just quirky, weird, didn't work. I don't know, guys. There's a lot of action. There's CGI. There are scenes that you're gonna laugh. Yes, I did laugh sometimes, but like I said, very forgettable. Not very heartfelt. I didn't really care to go watch another movie. And like I said, I'm probably not gonna watch this again. But that is just my honest opinion. Drop your comments down below. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Bye.